Throughout my channel, I talk a lot about cheap hardware and their common drawbacks when it comes to highly demanding actions. There are usually ways to work around these common problems, but today I'm pushing the limits with my MacBook Air 2014 once again. I'm going to be trying to game on this thing and actually see if it's enjoyable. In case you're unaware of the specs on this MacBook Air, I'm going to leave them right here. I'm going to start with lower end games, and I mean like really low end. The browser. The first game that I'm going to be playing in the browser is one of my favorite on mobile, and it's called 8-Ball Pool, which I'm sure all of you know of. Well, first off, we got to load miniclip.com, and if that didn't work, I'd end this video right now. So thankfully, it's pretty fast loading up, and the gameplay itself is really smooth as expected. It's 8-Ball Pool. It should be able to run, and by the looks of it, you can see that it does a great job. Now let's move on to App Store games. This is referring to the App Store that comes with the Mac. And the one we're gonna be playing is Shadow Fight 2. So when I launched Shadow Fight 2, something really interesting happened. Check this out. I received a message saying the game needed another update because I'm using an older Mac. It recognizes that in order to make the game compatible, it needs to optimize my computer for better performance. That's really, really cool, I think. You know, I know Shadow Fight 2, once again, is a mobile game and it's not very graphically intense, but the fact that Apple and the Mac recognize that already shows how good they are at optimizing their products to make them last a lot longer. Given that info, it's clear to see that Shadow Fight 2 performs really well. To be honest, it's actually really enjoyable. There's no lag whatsoever, but it's way better than playing it on the phone. I can guarantee you that. Next is probably the game that I'm most excited to try out and play, and it's called Don't Starve 2. It's a game that you get on Steam. The game once again gave me a pop-up and said that it needs to optimize my MacBook in order to run this game smoothly. And I thought that this was so cool that I'm playing a Steam game, not downloaded from the App Store, and it tells me that it needs to be optimized. What do you know? I get into the game and there's no lag. It's playing really smoothly, and this is a very, very fun game that's actually pretty popular on the computer and on Steam. So it's really cool to see that my MacBook Air 2014 is still holding up while playing Don't Starve together. So now this is when we get into the impressive stage. Like, if the MacBook Air was able to play CSGO, I'd be impressed. It lagged quite a bit, but to be honest, it's actually quite playable. Like, check out this little gameplay piece. Low settings all across the board. It's still playable on a MacBook Air. I think that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get the message that it is optimizing the system for it. I guess it's because the game is just too graphically intense for the MacBook Air, so it couldn't really optimize it that much more. But to be honest, I didn't expect it to run it on this MacBook though. You know, it's still a very popular game, and for me to be able to play it on my MacBook would have been really cool. But unfortunately, I don't think I would, because I have a desktop that can play it at ultra settings, so why not just use that? In other words, to conclude, it is playable, just don't expect to be playing at high settings. I've decided I will stop there because I figured that if it's lagging on very low settings, what's the point on downloading Tomb Raider and see it not be playable? You know, CSGO is your good margin. If you find games that are similar in terms of graphics to CSGO, you can expect to be able to play it just on very low settings. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I could use GeForce Now like I have in my past videos, but I think that would be cheating. I'm testing out the MacBook's hardware specifically. I don't want to be using in the cloud gaming, so we're not doing that. Let's just keep in mind that this is a 2014 MacBook Air. So if you were to pick up a newer MacBook Air or even a MacBook Pro that has a quad-core processor, I bet you can actually play CSGO on medium settings. Maybe that's a video in the future. Given this video and what I found out about this MacBook, I'd expect that anyone who owns an old Mac isn't expecting to play high-end games. So that being said, considering that this is a MacBook Air from 2014 and it's still able to play Don't Starve together, was pretty interesting and pretty cool to find out. They should be happy about the performance of this MacBook Air. In the end, this video shows that Apple does a good job at maximizing the longevity of their Apple products. You know, like the MacBook Air had those pop-up windows saying that it's optimizing this system to play this game. So you could tell that they're still working on letting these games be played on old hardware, which is really cool. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thought this was really fun to make because I really haven't been playing games on my MacBook Air since I got my desktop, but I figured that a lot of people out there still have this device and are still looking to, you know, play games here and there, keep them busy, take breaks between schoolwork. So I figured it was a cool video to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one. Smell you later.